Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now with the main headlines. Crowds of Shia gather in the holy city of Samarra to commemorate the martyrdom anniversary of Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi remarks on consuming tobacco and cigarettes. The United Nations voices concern over surging hunger and malnutrition in Afghanistan. France's controversial immigration law brings thousands of protesters to streets in Paris. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. This is Yunus Dawood and you're watching Shia Waves live from London only on Imam Hussein TV 3. Shia followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam from all over the Iraq gathered in the holy city of Samarra on Monday to commemorate the martyrdom anniversary of Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam. The mourners expressed their condolences to the Imam al-Mahdi Ajjallah Ta'ala Farajuhu al-Sharif and vowed to continue to follow the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. The Secretary General of the Askarian Holy Shrine announced that it had organized a number of events to commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam. These events included religious lectures, poetry and mourning ceremonies. Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam is the 10th infallible of the 12 Shia, and he was born in Medina in 212 after Hijrah and was martyred in the holy city of Samarra in 254 after Hijrah. The Imam was poisoned by the Abbasid Caliph al-Mutawakkil. The daily scholarly meetings of Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Hussein al-Shirazi was held on the first Saturday of Rajab. In this session, like the previous meetings, the Marja answered the questions of the attendees about various jurisprudential issues. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi discussed the ruling on tobacco and cigarette consumption and said consuming tobacco and cigarette is permissible, although it may be makruh as it poses minor harm, but is not associated with serious harm with regard to the ruling on the use of the sale of narcotics. His Eminence also said that it is not permissible to use and sell narcotics except as a treatment and to the extent necessary, but if it causes harm and corruption to the society, then it is forbidden. Let's take a look at the statement together.
مفطرات مگه فقط شربه 10 تا چیزه یکی شربه فقط همین دوتا؟
نه 9 چیزه عقل شربش که روزه باطل بکنه اینجا یکی چاله میگه آیا مصداق میشه
نه عراقی ها که میگن یشرب شرب میگن اما نه نمیخوام من بگم نه عرض کردم روایتشو خوندم او کنس بیتا فدخل الغبار انفه و حلقه یکی از مفطراتیه که جماعتی از فقها فتوا دادن که مفطر بعضی هم احتیاط وجوبی کردن لازم نیست شرب باشه.
The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has raised alarm over escalating hunger and malnutrition in Afghanistan, reporting that the highest levels of 2024. In a social media post, the United Nations revealed that around 15.8 million people in Afghanistan are expected to face food shortages from January to November of 2023. Humanitarian efforts reached 29.4 million people in Afghanistan, with 25.5 million directly benefiting from the United Nations said. These initiatives, including food and healthcare aid, were funded by $850 million carried over from 2022 and an additional $1.3 billion raised in 2023. Despite this funding shortfalls led to reduced food assistance affecting 18 million people and plus 3 areas and 3.4 million receiving half rations, including those in IPC4 areas. Let us remind our respective viewers of today's headlines. Crowds of Shias gather in the holy city of Samarra to commemorate the martyrdom anniversary of Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi remarks on consuming tobacco and cigarettes. The United Nations voices concern over surging hunger and malnutrition in Afghanistan. Also tonight, Shia community in Orlando celebrates foundation stone laying ceremony for Husseini Center Shia Academy. Thousands of demonstrators took to the streets of the French capital Paris on Sunday to protest against the government's continuous immigration laws, which was recently passed with the support for far-right lawmakers in parliament. Responding to a call from more than 400 associations, unions and political parties, they braved the cold weather to express their opposition to the law. Critics of the law argue that it will lead to discrimination against foreigners in the country and are demanding the abandonment of what they consider to be a racist policy. The immigration law approved in Parliament on December the 19th last year ties rental assistance and family benefits provided to foreigners residing in the country to specific employment conditions. According to the law, employed foreigners can benefit from rental support 3 months after arriving in France, while non-employed individuals can obtain rental support after 5 years. In the meantime, the severe cold spell has aggravated the situation of the migrants sleeping under bridges on the banks of the Seine River. Hundreds of thousands of migrants sleep in makeshift tents under the bridge in the sub-zero cold and frost, and some freeze and die. To discuss this further, we have with us Sheikh Mohammed Sirous, a Shia chaplain in Canada and France. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
In what ways has the new immigration law affected the life of immigrants in France, do you think?
Basically, it shows that we have two types of immigrants. We have the first type is the European and white immigrant that usually, come to France for a job. So they are invited by companies and they come and, they start their job right away. So usually they have insurance, they have healthcare, they have all the benefits from the company and from the government. And we have a second type of immigrant that's usually the immigrant that are victims of colonial policy in Africa and some other areas. So, they come without job. So basically, it's very hard to get a job as somebody coming from a poor country, as we can call. They will not have any health care, they will not have any benefits. So basically they will have to wait 5 years to be able to get some government assistance. So we do see in France, if you walk around in Paris and some other places in France, that there are many homeless, and these homeless are not homeless, but they are refugees and escapees from the policy in France, in Africa. So they come from Mali, they come from many other areas in Africa, and they have nowhere to go. They treat them like, lower than human. They have to stay under the tents in the cold. It's freezing cold right now in Paris. It snowed a couple days ago. So, and they have kids, they have women, what they are doing. So they said, we are, following the rules. So either you leave France or you live in this type of condition. So this type of policy, they have difficulty. They really had difficulty to be approved by the government, also by the rule, the law, and the people. So they had to try many times before that this bill or this law being approved. But the thing is, the government right now try to, at the same time, continue their colonial policy against the Muslim and the formal colonies, and also they try to satisfy the extreme right wings because of the elections. We do have elections in 2027 in France, but the campaign for the election starting right now. Marine Le Pen, that is the extreme right wing, party, gain a lot of people, a lot of part of the population because of the economic problem, because of many issues that we see in France for the crisis, the housing crisis. We have a problem with work and many other criminality. So everything now, it's really easy. If you want to find a solution, if you want to be famous in France, you just insult the Muslim, insult the minority, and you become a prime minister. The prime minister right now, you can see in France, a couple months ago in September, I remember very well, he used to, ban the abaya at school. And because of his, a way of speaking with arrogance against the Muslim women, he got a position, a role as a prime minister. In France, basically anything you do against a Muslim, you become famous and you will be invited to all the medias.
What status of rights and protection do immigrants have under this new law, do you think, Sheikh?
Well, we have, as I said, we have two types of immigrants. So the white-collar immigrant who has a job, or the immigrant who basically got recruited from abroad and coming to France to work, they will be still protected by the company, because if you have a job, after 3 months, you still have the coverage from the government. But if you don't have a job, you have to wait 5 years. So anything happens. So if during that 5 years period, if you have an issue with the police, if somebody wants, fight with someone else or insult someone, has any issue with the law, they will be removed from the country. So there is no protection for families that are jobless and job seekers. So there is no money from job seekers allowance, no money from housing benefit. So they have to wait for 5 years before being treated as a normal immigrant. So there is no protection. That's a message they want to give to the population. They want to give the message to the immigrants that you have to leave France. They want to do somehow like the UK a different way. The UK, they are sending people to Rwanda in Africa, the place that he used to have civil war. In France, they do it in a different way. They leave you in the street for 5 years, freezing cold, or it's going to be pretty much hot during the summertime. And not only this, you expose your family with crime and danger. France is not a secure country. Even for a man walking in the streets, you're scared for your own security. So imagine that you live in the street for 5 years. I don't know what will happen. So that's unfortunate, as a Shia, as a Muslim, we witness such a thing. We can help some families, to give them some shelter, but we're speaking about 500,000 people in the streets, and most of them are Muslim and coming from countries that are rich in resource, rich in gold and diamond and oil and gas, but they has been exploited by the same country they are going to. Hopefully, the law will somehow change.
Indeed, inshallah. That was the Shia chaplain with us, Sheikh Mohammed Siruz, live from Vancouver, Canada. Thank you very much for your time.
Salamakum Allah. Thank you.
And now we'll continue with some short news. The Office of the Supreme Religious Authority, His Eminence Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Hussein al-Shirazi in Manga, Madagascar, launched a humanitarian campaign to distribute food to disadvantaged Shia families in the city. The campaign, which was launched in conjunction with the advent of the blessed month of Rajab, distributed food to dozens of families. The director of the Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi Hujjat al-Islam wal-Muslimin, Sheikh Muhammad Radi Wasram, said that the campaign was aimed at providing assistance and helping needy families through current difficult living conditions. He also said that the campaign was in line with the recommendations of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, who has repeatedly emphasized the importance of caring for the needy and the poor. The UK-based global humanitarian organisation Who is Hussein said today that it has launched 2 new charitable activities in the name of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The first program aims at providing winter clothing and food to the homeless, orphans and the poor of non-Muslims in a number of countries around the world. The second program aims at visiting churches and theological schools and provide them with their essential needs, as well as holding meetings with priests to raise awareness of the message of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The organisation stressed that its humanitarian projects and programs will be comprehensive and wide-ranging, and that they will not be limited to Muslims or Shias. The collapse of an illegal small-scale gold mine has killed at least 22 people in northern Tanzania following heavy rains, a senior government official said on Sunday. The accident happened early on Saturday in the Simiyu region after a group of people aged between 24 and 38 years-old start of mining in an area where activity had been restricted due to ongoing heavy rains. The government has worked for years to improve safety for small-scale miners, but unsafe and unregulated illegal mines still occur in Tanzania, which is Africa's fourth largest gold producer after South Africa, Ghana, and Mali. Professor Tawfiq or Tofu Musanavid, an Iranian-Canadian medical engineer of Kurdish origin who invented an artificial cardiac pump, passed away at the age of 87. Born in 1942, Musavand was a graduate of agricultural engineering from Tehran University, a master's degree in mechanical engineering from Canada, and a doctorate in medicine and heart surgery specialist from Carleton University of Canada. He invested 36 technologies in medical devices, owned 20 patents, and he authored and published over 500 books, papers, technical reports, and editorials. Voters in Taiwan elected Vice President Lai Ching-te as their next president on Saturday, defying warnings from Beijing not to support a candidate it has called a separatist and a troublemaker. China claims Taiwan as its own territory and has not ruled out of the force of against the island, while the US is Taiwan's most important international backer. The majority of Taiwan's 23 million people are in favor of maintaining the status quo, neither formally declaring independence nor becoming a part of China. The Shia followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam in Orlando, Florida celebrated the laying of the foundation stone for the new Husseini Center and Shia Campus project, which aims to establish the holy rituals and to educate the Shia generation on the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhum salam. The Islamic Husseini Association in Orlando stated that the new project includes the construction of a new center for the Shia Muslims in Orlando in order to establish the holy Husseini rituals, honor the occasions of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, and spread their culture and sciences. It added that the project also includes the construction of an academy to accommodate Shia Muslims and others and to contribute to the field of academic education in service to the community. Archaeologists have discovered 43 human skeletons and more than 100,000 artifacts in the coastal city of São Luís. Surprising discoveries emerged during the construction of a new apartment complex in northeastern Brazil, where workers unearthed human bones and pottery shards with smoothed edges, suggesting ancient origins. Excavations in São Luís uncovered a wealth of artifacts dating back up to 9,000 years, potentially reshaping the historical narrative of human settlement in Brazil. Delving into the site's history, the lead archaeologist Wellington Lage discovered traces of significance dating back to 1970s, with notable discoveries like a human jawbone fragment in 1991. His team's efforts yielded a remarkable array including stone tools, ceramic fragments, adorned shells, and various bones. Delhi and parts of North India remain engulfed in dense fog, with reduced visibility posing challenges for flights and trains linking with the national capital of the rest of the country. The temperature dipped to 3.3 degrees this morning, with the coldest this season, local media reported. 18 trains have been delayed today due to fog, and as many as 168 flights have been delayed and 84 flights cancelled at the Delhi airport today, with an average delay of about an hour. We have reached the end of today's Shia Waves show. Let's remind our dear viewers of today's headlines. Crowds of Shia Muslims gather in the holy city of Samarra to commemorate the martyrdom anniversary of Imam Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi remarks on consuming tobacco and cigarettes. The United Nations voices concern over surging hunger and malnutrition in Afghanistan. France's controversial immigration law brings thousands of protesters to streets in Paris. Shia community in Orlando celebrates foundation stone laying ceremony for a Husseini center. Brazil unearthed thousands of artifacts dating back to 9,000 years ago. And dense fog causes travel chaos in Delhi and 150 flights delayed, some diverted. You can view the latest news on Shia Waves' website, and you can send news of your city or country to be published on our news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of your screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching, and we pray to Allah the Almighty to hasten the reappearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
السلام عليك يا